I had no idea, really, that I was going to dive into an abyss of social opprobrium, social exclusion, institutional prejudice, discrimination, hatred, and all of that. I have to be who I am. I cannot live a lie. This is the cost I have to pay for this. And people are still making those courageous steps these days. I left home and college and school at the age of 16. Not because I wanted to necessarily, I didn't know that I was transgender, essentially. I knew I wasn't homosexual, but I had an attraction to men. But at 16 years of age, when I did discover what trans was and that was, I found my path, I never looked back. Nobody could ever tell me that I was going to be anything other than what I needed to be. And that came at huge cost. Huge sacrifice, huge risk, huge danger. I had no idea, really, that I was going to dive into an abyss of social opprobrium, social exclusion, institutional prejudice, discrimination, hatred, and all of that, if we were to live as we were, regardless of what the society thought. And for each and every one of us that made those brave and courageous steps to say, I have to be who I am, I cannot live a lie. This is the cost I have to pay for this. And people are still making those courageous steps these days. I just happened to be elected in our country and turned out to be the first one. But that helped to open a door, I think, for many other political aspirants of our community to think, well, if that can happen in New Zealand, why can't it happen in my country? Of course, I was going to be supportive of any matters that might come before our Parliament that have a direct effect upon the rainbow community, including transgender. And I most certainly did when those matters did come up in my time in Parliament. I was elected in a rural, conservative, some would say redneck area of New Zealand. You would have thought that I would be the last kind of person that they would have entrusted me with their vote to be their representative in Parliament. And when I found myself in a position of influence, I wasn't about to dilute that by trying to just play the ball. I was happy to take the political risk. If the electors in my constituency were not happy with me, they had the opportunity to vote me out at the following election. But I would have still stood proud by standing by those things. Otherwise, it would have been a wasted opportunity on my part if I hadn't been able to support those things. And I took that risk. So when I was re-elected to Parliament, they doubled my majority.